Okay, so that brings us to episode 33. I think I've got it right. Nope, 34, so I didn't actually update that. Be back in a sec on that thing, because I can only update it on the front. There we go, actually updated this time. So session number 34 of our Shadowrun. Also not updated up here as well. Yay. Always great when I forget to do these things. Session number 34 of our Shadowrun storyline.
Yay.
So far no one's died in game. But I'm sure you'll work on that. There's always another session to get through. As on
You're wrong, Martin. Lots of people have died. Just no PCs.
That is true.
So we've already worked on that. We don't need to deal with it this time.
So tonight online we have Jeremy, who spoke up there.
Oh, okay. Yes, good evening all. I'm playing Dexter and Deadshot, well, he grew up as street scum and with unknown heritage or unknown family, an elf who grew up on the streets of Seattle, dreaming of one day joining those pillars of the community that race down the streets of Seattle, the ancients, and has discovered that, well, yep, he's managed to gain notice of the ancients and Mac Green's potential, but he's also discovered that apparently he's got family, and the family were either somewhat rich or connected or both or something, because he's discovered that he's been left apparently an inheritance that is a very special bike and combat suit.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't get up to too much trouble.
Exactly what it is that Tatiana can do.
Which then brings us to Ross.
Yes, I'm playing the lovable character Womp, who basically can heal the party and also buff them, also the follower of Eki Thump and of the BBC Pantheon. So currently we're in the town that's kaiju infested and weird shits are happening.
You'll find out about that when we get through everyone and I do the update.
Okay.
And next up we have is Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh. I'm here for order. Order down the defense post, but hit things really hard. Harder now, actually. Still trying to work on deck of cards with doors. And I definitely don't have 17 tubs of ice cream stashed somewhere.
Stashed all over his
Well,
city.
you really should stop abusing fence posts like that.
And
I'll be surprised if fence posts would be smarter than a walker.
well, he does struggle to figure out how to get over the fence. He doesn't have goblin somewhere in his name at all whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely not.
And last person on tonight is M.
Hello. I play Bolt. I'm not the sharpest Bolt in the shed, though I've been told it's some different saying, but yeah, hey Bolt, can't remember. He had woke up at the end of last session, naked, lost and confused. And very much not furry.
I'm sure Bolt did not sign at all up for any of those reality TV shows at all on purpose.
Pretty much.
Okay, so last session we had, you were in the town of Angel Grove, which was flooded with magic, and you got a little bit of warning that something bad was approaching. And that something bad kept pointing to Bolt as being the cause of that badness. And then something happened, Bolt disappeared, and none of you got any word of Bolt for more than a month. As Bolt's just been completely off the radar. Which is not unusual considering Bolt doesn't like using technology.
Well, it's not like radars work very well here right now anyway.
That is true. And in that time frame, we have had a lot of interesting things happen. So, Floggers made it back to Seattle. Womp was also in Seattle as well. They both ended up taking flights with a friendly neighborhood smuggler.
Sounds about right.
Desrin managed to drive his way back because, well, why would he want to fly?
Because let's face it, I could drive back a whole lot faster. Apparently.
And one thing he has learned is, unless he's in high magic zones, the bike doesn't have as much oomph in it as it's actually tied into the land as well as the rider. So if he takes the bike into a dead magic zone, it will most likely run out of power completely. And
or Desmond will. When you found out that the bike actually used its own energy.
well, it uses a bit of both. But for you to get energy to feed the bike, you've got to have energy in the land around you. Yeah. So you've learnt that there is a city called Night City that has no magic at all whatsoever in its region. So that's on your don't go to with the bike list.
Yeah, we can avoid that next tourist destination number one.
And you have spoken to a guy in a red biker suit who basically said he'll contact you depending on how well your training goes.
Right.
Didn't give you his name or his number, just that he somehow knew how to get in touch with you.
And was this before or after I left Angel Grove?
It was before you left. You spent a bit of time learning and getting stuff, and you still beat Flogger to Seattle.
Yeah, I'm assuming that, He's going to basically spend the whole time in Angel Grove working things out. He said to the others, hey, it's going to take a little while, so feel free to get back. And yes, he was probably so distracted with trying to learn about Tatiana that he didn't notice that Bolt has not been heard from.
Well, Bolt didn't register as a threat, so you were quite happy.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, Bolt had one of those out-of-this-world experiences where he got to chase the spirits across the plains. Literally. And wakes up after a very harrowing experience in a body not like he started his journey on. And being in the middle of a desert, you don't remember any maps of where a desert is. So it's quite strange to look around you in all directions and see nothing but sand.
Great. I mean, I'm not surprised that Bolt doesn't know where he is or remember any maps, because he's probably never looked at a map in his life.
Well, you never needed to. It's just run, play, run.
Yeah, pretty much.
And at which point I will switch over to Flogger, Bolt, and Flogger, Desrin, and Womp, getting news that apparently one of Womp's friends has tracked down your missing puppy.
Ah, cool. Okay.
He says it's in the place that used to be known as Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least somewhere near that place. There's a big desert out that way. I believe they call it Valley of Death or something like that, he says.
Oh, Death Valley.
That's not ominous.
I'm sure that just refers to everything that Elves met.
I'll believe that later.
Okay, so
He does tell you that a phoenix told him that the being known as Bolt has popped out of the astral plane in the Valley of Death and may need assistance.
Must go save Poppy.
And the description of is apparently trying Survivor naked and afraid.
okay, popping out of astral. That's pretty good.
Not in Bolt's fault.
Okay. How far is Phoenix or Death Valley from Seattle? And how many international borders we have to cross?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out exactly how far that is.
Like 5 and 500.
So it is just over 1,000 miles. I'm sure it won't take you. I'm sure it won't take you long whatsoever.
Okay. Is it in UCAS or CAS?
It's just checking because it's been a while since I've actually looked at maps like that.
Yeah, okay. and I can't actually picture where Phoenix is on a normal map, let alone.
So amusingly enough, you rode past it
Yep.
because it's between Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Right. And so that, well, I think I can be fairly confident that it's not a naked dead zone.
Yep.
Like, in the sense that I know Tatiana can cope with the facilities out that way.
Well, you've heard the Magic Dead Zone seem to be on the equator.
Yeah. Oh no, but it was more just the fact that, like, if you've been in the area with Veronica, with Tatiana, then yeah, you know that's okay.
And amusingly enough, because the guy doesn't actually know his ancient United States territories well, he thinks Death Valley is in Phoenix, not Utah.
Yep.
Actually, I think it's where is it? Nevada, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of right. Death Valley, Nevada. Okay. Declan's thinking, well, yeah, I know I can get there very easily. But any of the others there and we can bolt back, might be a challenge in Tatiana.
It does have a sidecar.
Yes. But not really a sidecar suitable for Womp or Flogger. And would barely be big, well, actually, no. Last time we saw Bolt, probably wouldn't have Bolt might not even fit there.
You have been given a interesting update on what Paul looks like at the moment, though.
Well, but we say how much we can trust the spirit's interpretation of bulk appearance having just come down to the actual plane. But it's the sort of thing that Edwin had noted that Bolt had grown in the few days when we were together at Angel Grove, when Bolt was allowed the opportunity to go for a run.
And be happy, free, and rabbits. It was fun.
Yes. Making Tatiana less and less happy. Or except for, unless you put a trigger in front of it. We could possibly, for some reason, not take Tatiana.
Did you manage to get your old bike back to Seattle?
Probably paid Val to take it for you.
Or could have left it in the storage locker in Angel Grove.
There's that too.
Okay. Shadowrun's got to go through Shadowrun Sealands and the tier before getting back into UCAS if we were going by road.
Yep, lots of fun in that.
Dick was happy to drive, but he suggests that I might try and contact Val first and just see if she happens to be available to help pick up.
She's happy to give you a lift out there, as long as you promise not to damage your vehicle again.
Well, we're not going anywhere where we believe there should be problems like there were down when we went further down Angel Grove. So.
She does point out that doors are hard to replace.
I thought we stopped Paula from stealing one of the doors.
Yes, but
on my way down.
I'd have to say that if no one was with Flogger at the time, there's no one to stop Flogger.
I agree.
Oh, that's right, because Womp actually went back before Flogger, didn't he?
He did.
Well, in that case, I would have said that meant that Flogger swung back. No reason for Val to come down and collect him by himself. Who's going to arrange that? Because Games was going to pull Val down and actually give Flogger in the back.
Unless, of course, you sent your bike back.
Sorry?
Unless you sent your bike back, that was all.
Well, I suspect that by the time he was ready to go back from Angel Grove, having realised he was the only one left there, or most likely the only one left, again, probably wouldn't have bothered trying to call Val in to do the collection. He would have perhaps left the bike in the storage locker, confirmed that the storage locker was still paid up for some time yet.
It's down as owned by whoever holds the key.
Right, okay. That's what I was going to say. If it wasn't available, if it wasn't being going to be maintained, then hey, you could probably leave it at Tatiana and Co's house. But yes, the storage locker is the better place, I would think. And then, yeah, he aimed to ride back on Tatiana, potentially testing some of the capabilities while trying to cross international borders. testing out his attempts at smuggling type activities. He's not actually trained for this kind of scoundrel, but he's certainly got that aspect in his potential. But yeah. So from his perspective, hey, he can get well, obviously get across those lines by himself, but you can't put the others with him on that. So,
And it does give you a 3-day trip to reach there based on how much rest you'll need to recover while riding.
Yeah. But actually, I'm thinking that if Bally's willing to, again, drop off effectively to around what we expect will be a drive down or fly down, pick up Bolt, hopefully very, very quickly, and fly back, then that would be appreciated and would be well compensated.
Right, she's more than happy to. You paying for fuel again as usual, she says.
Always. It's the job, and hey, if from his perspective, from Deg's perspective, it takes time. If she's offering mates rates by only charging fuel, hey, we're getting a good deal.
Well, you do realise that she'll ask you to do something down the track.
Yeah.
And expect reciprocation for it.
Yeah. That's okay. He recognises the value of favours.
Okay, so while you're setting that up, we'll switch over to Bolt. Bolt's skin is starting to go red, and the ground that Bolt is sitting at or standing upon is starting to hurt.
So how long have I been sitting there?
About an hour since. About an hour since sun up.
Okay. Have I been walking in that time? Like trying to find, I guess, shelter or anything?
Quite possibly.
Well, did Bolt have memories of what he's been doing for the last month?
He does not. He didn't choose to take intellect as a increase.
Does it feel like he's been doing stuff for a month? Or?
Just teasing M about that one, but let's see. We'll see how well Bolt remembers things.
My abysmal intellect roll.
As we make a intellect roll of 1 dice. So we ended up with 2 failures and a threat. So Bolt manages to hurt Bolt's brain trying to remember what's happened.
Dehydration is giving me
Brain got fried. Or being fried.
Literally everything on the world is getting fried right now. Can I do a survival check?
You can. What is your character's survival?
My character's survival. Survival. I have 1 rank, and my cunning
Is now 4. So that means you've got quite a few dice in it. So, that 1 strain you got earlier, you feel really good about that.
Wow, really?
Yep. You are in Death Valley after all, and you've never been here before.
Yeah.
Your survival training is catching things in a dog park.
or a forest.
Or a forest, yes.
Oh god.
And the trees here aren't great to pee on because they got spikes on them.
Yeah.
In fact, it wasn't just a forest, it was an alpine forest.
I don't know, dude. And I have a look around. Do I see anything, like anything?
Looking around, you see that there are hills of sand, and more sand. And there's this burning sunshine coming down, and the land sort of looks like it's shifting and moving in the light.
And Bolt probably doesn't know or understand what a mirage is.
Nope.
Well, you know exactly what mirage is. It's that water oasis just over there.
Well, that's probably what he's been wandering around aimlessly for an hour for. Would I know anything about sand or sun or how to stop myself from...
Well, you do know how to bury things in sand.
and bury myself?
You could bury yourself. How much of yourself are you burying?
Like, most of me.
Up to the neck, in the fire ant head.
Over my face, I don't know. Can I breathe sand?
And you breathe sand.
Hey, this is Bolt we're talking about, okay?
Bolt can try and see what happens.
Sure, let's do that. Let's go. That looks better, probably.
Okay, so you ended up with a success and a threat. So you end up with one more strain back again after figuring out that, yes, you can bury yourself in the sands here. And you also realize that there's these things called scorpions and snakes in the area.
So I'm probably going to like stung and beat.
So obviously, it's things like food.
Just that you also realize your skin's not as great as it was beforehand, because you've got all these blisters all over your feet now.
Yeah, the Bolt is not quite sure he likes his body.
I mean, the next one thing to check on is what Bolt's going to last month and how conscious he can be of choosing to change his body.
Well, currently, considering he's just transitioned between planes, he's a little bit fuzzy on all that.
Okay.
Yeah, Bolt's main thing was to like, not get continued blisters on his feet, because that kind of sucks.
Pretty eager to transform when you're on a better plane, huh?
It is, and especially when your brain's not being zapped by jumping between planes.
Yeah, so once Bolt has been able to, I guess, ascend into some sand, and that he will try and use his brain power to remember things.
Okay. Initiating brain power remembrance.
Yeah, and probably give himself a headache, but that's fine.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
So that ended up being 2 failures and a threat.
Yeah.
Apparently, while trying to remember things, you start eating sand, and it didn't taste very nice.
No.
So you now have 2 damage and 2 strain total. And the sun's directly overhead, and it's hot. Even the sand that you're buried in is hot.
That's probably better than being on the surfaces. Can I try and like shift myself like a bit deeper?
Sure. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. I die being dropped by the hand.
On the plus side, of the count of it, you might say Desmond owing a favour to Val, we're waiting to come and collect you.
Okay, so 2 successes and 3 advantages on burying yourself in the sand. You seem to have managed to get yourself a nice air pocket down here because, you know, sand smells terrible. Smells like burnt feet.
Probably my burnt feet.
And not a pleasant smell.
Hmm?
It's not a pleasant smell. You even smell bad. You're not used to smelling bad.
So noted that I don't have as good a smell as I had previously, is that right?
That is correct. And you still smell bad.
Unfortunately, yes.
And I
You
smell,
can't smell as well.
I smell like bolt, naked bolt.
Unfortunately, you don't smell like wet fur.
Well, I think I prefer that at this point.
Exactly, okay. Unfortunately, you don't.
Okay, so quite a few hours pass before you hear the sound of a what sounds like a helicopter nearby with a whoomp 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 sound.
Ooh, I like jump on my little sand pile.
Okay, I will give you a athletics check.
Athletics. Apparently, I don't have that as a career skill and don't have any rank for that, so that's interesting. I should do that.
Did you try coordination?
This is more brute strength.
Yeah, I did think of
I don't have a 4, so...
Okay, so it does appear as if you managed to burst out of the sand. And you see a familiar looking flying mechanical thing going through the air nearby.
Ooh,
And flying right past you as if you weren't there.
I try and chase it.
Okay. Yeah, you know before when you were feeling that really sore feet?
Yeah.
Now it feels as if someone's stabbing your feet every time you touch the ground as you run.
Great.
And you thought it hurt before. It's agony now.
I probably try and chase the helicopter or the for a little bit, and then the pain quickly gets so much.
And we'll give Flogger, Desrand, and Womp a perception roll to see how well they notice things.
Okay.
What is Womp's perception?
Just 2 green dice at the moment.
Okay, so you're having a hard time staring at all this light and end up giving yourself 1 strain from a little too much brightness. What is Flogger's perception?
Hang on. Sorry, just want to make them. Perception. Resources.
I believe that is cunning.
I don't think he has it trained or not from what I can see on his character sheet, but he has a cunning of 2.
Yep, so he gets a whole 2 dice as well. But apparently that's all he needs.
Oh, nice.
Pointing out the window as he basically sticks his hand through it.
Whoops.
He points out to everyone where Flogger is, limping along and apparently howling up at the plane, completely naked, and quite a sight to look at with all these blisters all over his body. Apparently all his fur fell out.
Egg will communicate to Val if he's not aware that, ooh, yeah, spotted, down. Got lucky.
Okay, so over the sound of the broken window, Val, you do hear the sigh from Val as she brings it around. And her calling out saying, Flogger, thanks for pointing it out to us, but next time, could you not break the window? As it comes in for a stop next to a extremely sunburnt Bolt, naked, in the sand.
Dave was quietly thinking, wow, Vel's feeling generous. We'll talk about it next time.
Well, there's the trip back. It's either that or you're assuming Val's tossing you all out of the plane at this point and flying off without you.
Well, I wouldn't have said that was completely out of the potential options. Although if it was the option, Gabriel would probably like, well, hang on, we'll drop off Flogger and pick up Bolt. Okay. She's still happy, or happy enough.
No, she probably demands payment before we set off again.
Well, she does have the flog fund.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you fly with Flogger, there's always a upfront payment.
Yes. And certainly, Degrin collects the contents of the flog fund from Flogger, if Flogger doesn't realise it. Working on the idea that between Degrin and Socal, that's Flogger's financial capability that he maintained.
As long as he's got ice cream, he's happy.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so Bolt, you've now get to see your friends. They look taller than the last time you saw them.
Bolt just kind of like looks between everyone and then like kind of looks back at himself again, and it's just like, what happened to me? I don't understand.
Dave sort of makes a little tour of Flogger and Wonka. Get her in the chopper, it'll be cooler, at least pretty cooler in there. And we'll try and splash a bit of water on her skin and give her some water to sip. Don't know whether any of us are specifically trained in medicine, but
I've been trained in the metaphysical healing of people.
okay. If we put out for me for the idea, yes. I think if you know enough to not let her gulp for water as far as possible, but yes.
Magically, yes. Physically, he's not sure about that part. So he'll just heal it if she chokes. He chokes.
Yeah. So, well, I'm pulling my magical scepter or walking stick out, and I shall be casting healing on Bolt.
Okay. Let's see how good your healing is today.
So that's 3 yellow, 1 green, and a blue from my scepter.
3 yellow, 1 green, and a blue.
Possibly some penalty dice to in the middle of Death Valley.
Okay, so the basic heal is 1 purple. And I'm assuming, are you doing? Do you have restoration?
I don't have restoration. I do have heal critical, but I'm not sure if he's got any. Well, he's got any critical damage.
Doesn't look like he's got critical damage, but it does look like has the equivalent of ongoing effects such as heat stroke.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't have restoration. I've got heal critical and revive incapacitate. So I can wake her up if she goes unconscious.
Okay. So they end up being 3 successes and 4 advantages.
Okay. Does she have any strain?
Yeah.
Does have strain, so it ends up being 2 net successes and through the 4 advantages, so you can fully heal up the damage that Bolt has taken.
Yep. And I gain 1 strain back. Actually, it costs 1 less strain.
Okay. And you can remove one of the strain you had previously from trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, that's correct.
But I'm looking at the blinding sun. I know that was Wob got strained from looking into the sun.
No, I just got basically get a headache from the
All the bright
sunstroke, all the bloody sand and that. So I need to wear sunglasses next time we go this way.
Okay, so you find yourself flying back to Seattle, managing to avoid most of the entanglements of the Nan and the other different tribes of the region, including the Elves, who I'm sure are more than happy for you to stay a while.
We'll try and avoid the hospitality at this time.
Yeah, you don't have the correct gifts.
That's right.
Okay, and you managed to get back to your nice, quiet building in the middle of Redmond.
So, which is what, Dagwood had been planning on confirming whether or not things have been, or what happened in the month he'd been away, but obviously that is review of the status of the building at that point interrupted by the fall, so he'll go back to taking a check of the building, make sure no one's been in his 2 floors on the penthouse at the top floors.
You do find that half of one of the floors has been co-opted by SoCal.
That's right. I'm happy with SoCal there.
Seems he had better reception range up here.
Yep, no, I'm happy that SoCal can use some of the areas on the top floors. Just trying to keep the damage level down by reducing the amount of time the floor comes in. And so we get back, basically, Elk can land at the top of the building, and Desmond will quite happily invite her in for refreshments, or if she wants to keep moving, then he will thank her profusely and provide the top up to the Flogger Fund to repair the damage that they caused.
That's okay. As you get in there, you see that SoCal has gotten the ice cream ready, knowing who was coming.
Cool.
For once, Bolt might actually partake in ice cream, because he just feels that trash.
The ice cream tastes so much better.
But Bolt feels like an ice cream bath.
Yeah, pretty much.
Provide that soothing cool sensation all over the skin.
He just has like, presumably he's still naked and no one's giving him clothing to put on. He's just rubbing ice cream all over his body. It feels good.
So soothing.
Hey.
Apparently Bolt has learnt a new way to enjoy ice cream.
Yeah. So as long as he doesn't play around with the cones as well.
I was more concerned about whether or not Flogger might think, hang on, ice cream, that'll be yummy, and can't lick it off.
Or going, I munch on ice cream and then pick up Bolt and start chewing on him.
The Bolt would probably like keep his face. I'm not sure how effective that would be, but he tried.
Okay, so do we have a Flogger bag?
Does Womp have the ability to create water or something?
Yes, I'll go over and turn the tap on.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily guarantee the water surface in here is always good.
There is a hammering noise and then it starts spurting out. Apparently someone's been working on it while you're away.
Okay. Well, no, to be fair, the Aztec guys that had taught the building, they potentially got some stuff going there, except it's still having electricity in the building is a lot simpler to arrange than necessarily having water in the building, unless they install a large water tank on top of the building to collect things on the roof or something. But then, of course, you're dealing with not so fresh water anyway.
Whichever way you go, you're stuffed.
That's right.
So yes,
if there's certainly running water available, then the intent will be to get I definitely will try to get past Joe, but there's something's been activated in the house. I don't want to get yet. I'll be back in a second. Something's talking to me.
Which is always disconcerting when you believe you're there by yourself. So, what is Womp and Flogger and Bolt up to?
So this building's Aztec, correct?
It's technically your building. You've signed away for it.
Oh, the elf is, I'm not. I don't trust Aztec.
I presume Bolts is trying everything and anything to soothe his sore body.
Well, the cold works for a little while, then it starts to hurt. Your new body doesn't seem to work as well as your old one did.
It probably goes for like a warm shower, but then that like also hurts, and then he does like cold again, and then hot again, and then repeats that for a while.
And speaking of cat interruptions.
I hear him. It's like happy.
Yes, it's climb up and I want attention. Give me attention now.
And people were looking. Everyone's awake, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he was nicely curled up on one of the chairs in his favorite blanket. And I was like, but you've got a blanket over here. I want that one now.
So Flogger, what happened?
Flogger is not currently available.
Say, no, Bolt, what happened?
Apparently you both look alike to Womp.
Apparently. Bolt doesn't know. Bolt doesn't know anything. It hurts. It just hurts. I don't know.
So where does it hurt?
Everywhere.
You can basically see the entire body is covered in sunburn.
I don't know. Bolt would try to remember something again now that he knows he's in a safe place.
Would heal critical do? Because that gets rid of any critical injuries and stuff like that.
Not a critical injury. It's a condition. They are different things.
I presume Bolt just needs to, like, not go out in the sun for a few days.
Okay, so Bolt is says Bolt was somewhere.
Bolt is somewhere.
Yeah, I heard that you travelled through the astral.
Did I? Bolt doesn't know.
As far as Bolt concerned, you were lovely forest hills and running around freedom.
One thing Bolt remembers was chewing on deer hide.
And ice cream. You remember ice cream and deer hide?
Yeah, ice cream and deer hide. and nice forests with beautiful smells. Not hot, burny, sticky foot sand. That is the only thing that Ball remembers. And burying himself in hot, sticky foot sand. And then hearing you guys. And that is Ball's tale. And then he looks around for his tail.
And there's no tail.
Where's my tail? Where's my tail?
On the plus side, your tail doesn't hurt.
Phantom tail pay? Question. I don't know if that's a thing, but
It is a thing. It is a perfect thing.
Yes. Balls is having phantom tail pain.
And you definitely find it weird walking around without fur covering everything.
And presumably Balls still just like sitting in the middle of the wherever we are, the complex, just like still butt naked.
Well, no, presumably there were clothes available for bodies here. Whether their clothes want to put on, different question.
People probably tried and try not to move. So it's probably just like sitting there. Just like not moving.
It has one leg in a pair of pants. It hurt so much getting to get there, you didn't want to take it off. But hey, Bolt's wearing some clothing.
Jason suggests that perhaps you just want to lie down in bed with a single sheet over you.
Sounds like one.
Okay, so you're heading to Desrin's room.
No. No. This is all happening about 3/4 of the top floor. I'm sure Coco would be aware of the range for the ice cream.
I don't.
Floors.
I was just teasing, knowing how Bolt and Flogger generally do things.
Closest bedroom that way.
Okay, so you find a room, you get in there, and there's this wet dog smell in there. It smells weird.
It smells weird.
Well, homie.
It smells weird, but somewhat familiar.
Weird and familiar at the same time, because last time you were here, it was a comforting smell. Now it's one of loss.
Oh, really lies down in his bed and just like stops crying. And he doesn't know why. He just stops crying.
Okay, so what's everyone else doing while Bolt is resting on the bed loudly?
Well, I'll put the TV on and see what's happening in the world.
Okay, so you managed to drown things out in the room nearby. As go ahead.
Jason will be talking to Coco just to get the updates on everything that's been happening. I'm assuming that he's probably been in communication with Coco while he's down in Angel Grove for the month.
Yes, managed to, yes.
Just keep up to date, keep what's happening. Confirm that he has got access back into his cyber eyes and the communication device that Tatiana provided.
Serkel hasn't managed to get back in, but he has been able to send you messages.
Okay. He's not an intruder. He's friend. He's allowed. But apparently that wasn't enough. I didn't have override authority.
Apparently, he didn't fry him either, so he feels grateful. He says whoever you got that from has got some illegal upgrades on it.
Well, depending on how much you've already talked to SoCal while he's in Angel Grove, but also I'm having the opportunity now, while he's not got the suit on, and he can't actually take the communicator off, can he?
No. It seems to be stuck on you.
Yeah. But yes, he will actually try and give SoCal first-hand explanation as to, hey, it's more than just some unusual upgrades on this whole system. And he was talking about, hey, everything that he's got, everything he found. I think he'd actually he'd ask SoCal to find out whether there'd been any stories of the Rainbow Gang. He'd have been from about 50 years ago or anything like that. But,
well, he has been able to track down some information. Apparently, you're using what's referred to as Magitech.
But Magitech that apparently or potentially was going to be used before we saw the first Great Dragon.
Yep. It says apparently it's been...
Particularly returned to the world, someone was already dealing with technology with it.
He has found information saying that there is a magical font located somewhere near Angel Grove, which seems to enhance magic, or the magically inclined.
Well, it was certainly a place where weird stuff happened. Case in point, the Kaiju. Case in point, Bolt. Case in point, Tatiana.
He does note he doesn't see any real difference with Bolt.
Although, case in point, the general living standards and cost down there, that was sort of magical.
He says he'll consider moving down there if his tech would work.
Yes, there are drawbacks.
He says he has been contacted by a guy you were working for. Says you were supposed to be doing something for him.
Finished everything I needed to do.
Apparently, some of you took some down payments for some work.
What, you didn't pay for
What might have taken some month to stop business in him, but we had to get out of town.
There was some item software or something like that you needed to get a copy of.
You needed.
No, I've got something else I needed from that.
Well, the job was from Womp and Georgie to get some data from the lab.
It was correct.
It was Womp and Georgie that were the people charged to get it. Whether Womp then had additional things that he wanted to try and get hold of. Although I thought that was one of our runs rather than his run.
No, I think basically I need to get the copy to someone else.
Not the copy, Ross. The data.
Yeah.
So not letting the party deliver their data to the first Johnson.
Okay.
Most of this sort of data is only useful if one person has it.
Was he collecting that? Is that the role for the job that he's been called upon, as opposed to one of the jobs that we did?
That was the job relating to Georgie.
Right, yeah, okay. Okay, so George got the job and Wob got a sideline for it, or
Yep, that's
right,
correct.
Okay. So, in that case, then it was Diggers saying, well, I mean, yeah, George took the job, but we haven't seen George for a while. I guess if the guy's still trying to chase it, we can potentially see what we can pick up.
Yeah, there was a package delivered to reception for Womp last week.
No.
Was Womp due to receive it last week? He actually got back a month ago. So.
I don't think he signed for it, but it's apparently still down there.
I've got a bad feeling about that.
They're going to call Womp and say, what have you been doing last month? How did you got deliveries? I'll pick him up.
Well, I don't live in this building due to the fact that I do not trust Aztec.
Well, if you're going to get stuff delivered here, you should at least check in.
I wasn't getting stuff delivered here. I'll go down and find out what this thing is.
Well, it's a small little box with a nice little ribbon, red ribbon on it, with your family name written on there.
Okay, I'll give it to Desmond to open. Alright, I think I already know what's in it. Because I expect it's going to be something somebody's digit.
So, from Desmond's perspective, you've gone down to collect the parcel and you come up and give him a nice box wrapped in a bow.
Yep. Present for Desmond.
So, a welcome home.
Lucky you didn't give it to Bolt or Flogger.
You know, you really shouldn't have one, but okay. And yep, he'll open the box.
Okay, inside you see what appears to be a kid's hand.
Yeah, you really shouldn't have one. What the hell is this?
It's most likely my sister's.
You cut off your sister's hand and wrapped it in a box to give to me?
No, I just didn't want to open it because I already knew what was inside it.
Oh, so you wanted me to open it?
Yep.
Without saying what was inside? You gave me the impression you were giving me a present of your sister's hand.
He's just showing his love affection for you, it's fine.
He's just giving you a hand, that's all.
Like a hand in marriage?
Maybe you should put a ring on it. SoCal calls out from the other side of the room.
He's getting very handsy with you.
And are we talking a human hand?
Looks like a teenager's hand. Human, female.
Yeah. So I still don't understand what the hell are you doing? Why have you got it? Why are you giving it to me?
It's because of the job that Georgie had signed up for.
So they blame you for not doing George's job?
No, they're after they're after Aztec is after the information that George is trying to get. And it doesn't get delivered.
Aztec has the information.
I thought Aztec's got my sister.
They're not the ones who have your sister.
Okay.
A hate group has your sister.
A hate group?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got totally confused. I thought Aztec had them.
No, it was Aztec you were doing the run against.
Okay.
Which was where the conflict of interest came in after getting a building from them.
Yep. So basically they want this information from Aztec, and they're going, if I don't do it, they're going to be sending my sister in parcels.
What, you think she's still alive?
Well, this is the first parcel.
They cut off her hand. The yaks only do a finger. And normally only a phalange, is that?
This isn't the Yakuza.
But why the hell did you not do something about it?
Because we've been doing the other runs. Plus,
what do you mean doing it for like a month? You went down to Aiden Grove and came back here.
I'm not very good with computers.
I'm sure Soka would have helped you if asked.
Plus, the other thing is, I couldn't remember what the job was actually for. As I thought it was Aztec wanting Aztec, which got me confused.
It does make things confusing when you don't know who they are.
How well do you know your sister?
She used to be quite handy.
Well, she was the only family member that I was able to talk to. Other than my uncle, who basically did this to me.
Dave's a little confused. Someone who grew up with that family, but definitely grew up with gang buddies and knew that, hey, you have to do an extra particular thing. He would have thought that, hey, family will like that.
Well, she's the only family
knowing exactly what's happening. If your family was in danger, surely.
Yes, she was the only family that I was basically got along with, and my uncle sold me into experimentation.
I reckon
and he brought that part of
next time with you right now. If he knows that it's your fault to get her hand cut off.
Oh, my uncle probably care less.
You don't think he care?
Probably not. Unless he's already experimented on her.
Ooh, hang on. No. I was going to make your sister. Well, apparently you cared about.
Yeah, but I haven't been in touch with her for a while because I've been trying to avoid it due to the fact that basically my uncle normally has like and other family members.
Maybe I'm not family.
Yeah, I'm the black sheep in the family, or actually say troll in the family.
Well, I did pick up the fact that, yep, Nick wasn't a troll man.
And you hear from SoCal, he did a quick research. He believes you must have ticked off someone known as the Hand of Five. They're known to send whole severed hands to people.
Who the hell is this Hand of Five? Sounds like a kids group.
Quite possibly, very much in the same vein as Humanus and other people who deserve a bullet to the brain.
You just say that you consisted being caught by, when you realised it wasn't Aztec, that it was some polyclon?
I have no idea. So there's some human extremists, are they?
He doesn't know if they're human, but they're extremists and militant. They could be picking on her because she's not human, or she is human, or because she's female, or because she's related to a troll. Any of the above, he says.
Was there any other messages in the box?
You have a look in there saying there is a note scratched into the palm of the hand, which you think was done before the hand was cut off, saying you have one hand left before we send the head.
Yeah, and this was sent at least a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
Desmond having a pointed look at Wong saying, you really should collect your mail more regularly.
Well, I delivered it to the wrong spot. So where was this? Where am I supposed to drop this information off?
You had a electronic drop point to let them know when you've got it.
So no physical drop point. So no way that I could probably try to do a rescue mission.
You could, but then you'd have to drop something at the drop point that would then allow them to tell you where to go to drop the physical evidence. Because there's no way they would have the electronic results dropped on the matrix, just the fact that you've got it.
So if SoCal can be able to make up some type of package, or electronic package that's been heavily encrypted using Aztec encryption, could we use that to as a something to as a thing to drop off and see if we can actually work out where my sister's located?
Well, what were you actually told to get? It's going to be easier to do the job.
I'm not 100%. Well, it's basically similar to, I believe it's similar to what we had to do for Bolt, which was correct, wasn't it? We just needed to download the information.
You were getting the data relating to DNA techniques used to meld characteristics of humans and mammals. And basically steal the research, not copy it.
Stealing.
Okay. Also, one of the other big differences is if you're saying that it was from an Aztec technology facility or laboratory, that could be different to Havard Industries, where Bolt was being studied.
You have a feeling that this you do believe that this is probably where the research was done that generated Bolt in the first place, and the growing of this species was farmed out to different medical centers. So how to get a Bolt of your own apparently is what you'll be stealing.
Who are you stealing it for?
Well, this basically looks like this
Hate Club.
No, I'm not talking about hand to five. I'm saying, who was the original job going to?
Biogene Technologies was the one that you were originally getting it through. And this was the no-nonsense Johnson who basically said, get it for me or I'll come after you.
I mean, that's where Georgie went. And then Johnson caught up with Georgie.
Yeah, well,
Did you ever meet with Georgie?
me?
He was not.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
But I believe Desron was, and he remembers seeing the Mr. Walker from Texas. Yep. Who was representing Biogen Technologies.
Oh, okay. And when you say Mr. Walker, is that who you refer to as No Nonsense Johnson?
Yep, that was the No Nonsense Johnson.
Yeah, okay.
But he actually gave his name because he really didn't care.
He was definitely saying, like, yep, I'll give you all you need. I'm not going to make this stupid or problematic. It happened. Fair enough.
It was make it happen or I'll come after you was the statement you remember him saying. This was the one you least wanted to fail.
So guess what we're going to be doing now?
Not failing this one, apparently.
It depends on who you give the data to, unless of course you want 2 more packages to show up.
Well, what I wanted to do is I would give the to the Walker guy and do a break-in and rescue of his sister.
You didn't care enough about having left captured for the last month.
2 months now.
So. Yeah, a couple of months.
Yeah, unfortunately my memory isn't that great.
This also was dumb stat.
I don't know, you could remember like all those mutations and magical whatnot.
SoCal calls out, it does go wrong sometimes. His memory's not that perfect.
So, I guess, has there been any contact from Mr. Walker in the last couple of months? Has he been any updates or anything like that?
Well, you probably need to check Georgie's phone.
Takes like everyone got George here, we should do that. So,
Okay, so you see SoCal having a look at some of the notes he has. Says, well, I can see Georgie's phone. He hasn't used it for a while. I'm not sure where Georgie is. But apparently, there have been quite a few messages asking, where the hell are you? I paid for this run. Answer me or I'll kill you. So I think you've gotten somewhat upset.
When's the most recent of those messages threatening killing him?
About 2 days ago.
Okay, so Georgie may not be dead yet then. You might not have caught up with him. He's still trying to chase you out 2 days ago.
Well, the issue with Georgie is there's lots of him.
True, yes. In that case, I'm surprised Mr. Walker having trouble finding him. He popped up everywhere. Whoever last.
Yeah, but he's not going to. He won't have any trouble finding us.
Okay, so SoCal pipes up. He's got a bit more information about the Hand of Five. There is a local chapter of Alamos 20,000. If you don't know who they are an anti-metahuman hate group.
Yeah.
So basically, we need to cleanse them with fire.
Lucky Bolt doesn't kind of look like a meta-human dog thing.
He does call out, even if you don't look like one, you associate with one, so they're more than happy to kill you just the same.
I mean, apparently they are chopping the hand off humans just if you happen to have a troll in the family. Very forgetful troll, apparently. The okay, well, guess we need to get on with this then. So you're saying that the target was an Ag Technology facility. You know where and who?
No, I actually can't remember as such. Basically, I believe it's all on Georgie's file.
You expected Georgie to keep good notes?
Well, you were there as well.
Okay. Don't know that I was, but... like, as player or the character at the time, what guarantee I was, because I was getting my job to collect the green trips. So, like the Cleopatra, and Genghis Khan, and Jack the Ripper.
You did manage to get all three.
Declan was doing the meat for that job and getting the information on there. So, if he attended the other meets, it was certainly not within his thought that I could say. He don't think I declined at the time. So. Okay, well, I guess on that sense then, as obviously as players don't have much memory of the meet or the connections, as characters, if any of the characters have good knowledge or understanding of what was actually discussed, required.
Well, Sir Cal calls out that he's just picked up an outgoing transmission coming from Womp. Has Womp got another comlink that he hasn't told him about?
Not that I'm aware of.
He wasn't able to pick up what was sent, but it seemed to have been a burst.
Okay. So has anyone got a some type of detector thingy?
Well, I was going to say, has Womp taken back the box with the hand?
Not yet.
Okay, so the hand might have had to track a bit of it. I expect that SoCal has probably got something more readily to hand, but I'm pretty certain that Declan Declan took the opportunity to spend money to actually buy a lot of that sort of Shadowrun gear, that apparently they were meeting that sort of process now, so it all began down the garage for that sort of stuff for his pieces. SoCal has got a sniffer item readily available, and Declan will take the elevator down the basement.
So, SoCal says he looks clean, boss, but if it's a burst transmitter, you might only pick it up while it's transmitting. Might have been something he ate, swallowed, injected with, touched on him. Could be a nanotransmitter.
Okay, nanotransmitter.
Great for surveillance, terrible for actually tracking.
If it was something like that, how much data can actually transmit?
most likely audio recordings, location data. It can be programmed to detect where you are and transmit that, and maybe have the closer you get to a set location, the more it transmits.
Mm-hmm.
Good chance they've picked as technologies arcology as the location centered on the frequencies.
Sorry, what was that about technology? You cut out a little bit, mine.
I said it might be where they most likely have it sending more transmissions the closer you get to as technologies arcology.
Okay, if it was as technology insertion.
Or if it was done to see you doing the run against as technology and proving that you've done it.
Yeah. But I guess you haven't been spending a lot of time. Well, hasn't been spending time here. But yeah, right. You haven't picked up previous transmissions, like random transmissions from around one facility in the last couple of months.
Well, Womp hasn't been around his scanner setup because he's only gotten it set up in the last month.
Yeah.
And Womp doesn't spend time in this building. He doesn't like it.
Yeah. You should learn that there are advantages to having people around. Okay, well. Find this. So, yeah, okay, so as characters, the characters have any other knowledge on expected timing for the run? Like, is it the sort of thing that Mr. Walker has set a required date when it can be done by? Or just more, he wanted to have at least some regular updates on what's been happening?
He did want some regular updates. And he wanted to...
There's like a bit of time and life, so therefore the data may still be valuable to collect at this stage.
As long as no one else has put it on the market, it's still valuable.
Yeah.
If it shows up anywhere else, the data's worthless to him.
Arctic Storytell would be able to effectively spoof George's comlink to send a message, apologise if he's been a cardo, he's got a bit hot the last couple of months, actively planning the job. And David will remind remember English accent.
He looks at you, text message, English accent, really?
Well, you know what I mean. Put it in that English stuff in the George's phone. He said it, whatever it was.
He just laughs, going, I'll have a look at his other messages and make sure he sends similar stuff. Let's not speak to Johnson right now.
As long as Mr. Walker still thinks that George is doing it, then that means that he's less likely to come after us. No matter where George gets it up. So, okay. Looking to a mob. So, what the hell do you know about the Canada business?
Other than
have you had? What have they told you?
other than that, they had my sister and they wanted what the the stuff that Georgie was getting.
And
And if I didn't live with Alchemist sister.
You hear SoCal call out, they'll probably still kill your sister even if you do give it to them.
Yeah, I expected that. That's why I was more wanting to do a rescue mission.
I told you this 2 months ago, but you didn't want to tell anyone else.
I did advise Georgie about it, but we also got so caught up with the other jobs, with Jack the Ripper and that.
Yeah.
So it is a problem that we had 5 jobs all at once.
Hey, yeah, we certainly got busy, but hey, the other jobs were technically just money for most of them.
This was the first one with high stakes.
Technically, Bolt had definitely a prime interest in the job that he got called on. But yeah. Just surprised that Bolt wasn't pushing a bit harder, or at least telling us that he wasn't telling us why it was important. To say, hey, we need to do this one, we need this much of the time, kind of thing. Okay, so Dan was happy to start doing a bit of computer research, but obviously SoCal will do it a lot faster. But yeah, Dan was also not trying to ask SoCal actually everything. To find out what he can see in the public networks of the facility where it's supposed to be happening, or where the data is supposed to be held, as well as knowing hangouts, etc. for Alamos 20,000.
SoCal calls out, hey boss, so we just got a feedback from Mr. Walker. He says in 3 days they're going, as technology are going public with their data, and we've got until then to complete the job.
Okay.
But luckily I found that Georgie had accidentally left his phone on and recorded the conversation with the Johnson.
I wouldn't say clever Georgie, but I do agree with your assessment. It's almost certainly accidental.
So apparently you're given directions to a abandoned section in Tacoma that has a sewer system that runs adjacent to the As Technology facility. You need to get into the ventilation system, and it runs about a meter or so from the server wall in As Technology. So you're required to break through there and get in, but you need to get through a plasteel wall surrounding the facility.
Okay, so the sewer drain system can get as close to the facility, but not actually inside.
And the material needed to break through the plasteel is somewhere in the laboratory we'll be entering through.
Okay. Has doing a quick search on public information there. Is there references to As Technology about to make some big announcement in 3 days' time?
They have called a press conference
Okay.
about a new and innovative product bound to put more bounce in your step and help the average person get ahead in life. And it sort of sounds like a lot of the buzzword things you saw in some of the flyers at the facility where you found them creating bolts.
Mm-hmm. And what was the deposit before pay?
60k each.
And on delivery?
Another 60k.
Mm-hmm. And considering we've lost contact with Georgie and Shadowrun also taking a break, if we did try and return the deposit, we're significantly further out of box than just 60k each. Because we've got to cover Shadowrun and Georgie.
And Rakesh.
And Rakesh, yeah.
Is it possible to do 3 days?
I'm sure anything's possible.
Well, if we still in 3 days, we still the data means that they won't be able to do the presentation.
But also, potentially our best infiltrator is certainly not going to dictate to go squaring through sewers and things like that right now. Because I figure that, if Boltec typically lying in a bed, not going to be all that good at crawling through narrow tunnels. Okay. What time of day is it, man?
It is probably about midday. Well, probably about mid-afternoon actually by the time you get back.
Okay, mid-afternoon. And what time is the AgTech announcement? In 3 days' time?
3 days in the evening, so you probably got just over 72 hours.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
So while you guys figure out how you're going to plan it, I'm just going to duck to the bathroom. Shouldn't be too hard for you to figure out what you need to do.
Figuring that at least the next few hours, like for the afternoon and evening, will be allowing Bolt to try and recover a bit more. Obviously, we'll go and get some, get the pharmacist and give us something for the burns to paint on. And then we want to do much leg work.
Wait, you can make Bolt feel better? Why haven't you done it already? You're like crying in my room for like hours.
Well, we can get in touch about my Redmond. Might have some drugs and that for him.
David might have tried to do something more for you in time, but then he got given this lovely welcome home gift from Mom.
And then Walt drowned poor Bolt out with TV.
So yes, I'm thinking that we could potentially ask Hotel to do the matrix leg work. But we might want to get out there the afternoon and try and talk to any contacts we've got about this facility and or Alamos 20,000. Again, I don't know what Mom's been doing for the last month, but any Genesys with contact are going to be a little bit cold at the moment, having not really been in the city for the last month. Yeah. Flogger and Rob have been back in the time, so they've probably got more reasons to contact their contacts, so they'll probably find it easier to ask questions if they know anyone suitable. So, Jason might be thinking, I wonder what Tatiana knows. Or we can find out.
Logan probably has no idea what's going on.
Well, I'm hoping Vlog has probably been comforting Bolt a little bit.
Yes. Oh, gets all colours.
No, touch me! You can paint ice cream on, like pickleball.
You can cooling off.
No, I've already been doing that, and then I have a, and then I have for like a warm shower, and then I have a, and then I did that like on and off for a while, and then I ended up crying my bed at like hours.
Lobster.
So and then there's everyone's just like, oh, we can go to the pharmacy and see if we can find something like to fulfill suit you, and Paul's like, why have you done this like hours ago? They're like crying here in pain.
Well, to be fair, it's not like Genesys here.
Well, you could initially.
Because you were several floors down where Genesys was.
I thought I was in a room near where everyone was walking.
No, that's the guy who went to his own room.
Okay, you're in a room on your floor.
Well, you can still hear me until warm eternity. For like 5 minutes.
So yeah, about the effectively initial plans for the afternoon will be asking if Coco's available to do a bit of legwork, making legwork on specifically the Aztec facilities that they're going to be stretching through, if he's got any more, if he's got the opportunity to find any more details or maps of the facility system we're going to go through, and or how close it gets to the facility, what sort of things, the play field, how thick it is, what sort of barrier we're going to try and get through. And probably lower priority for SoCal on the Matrix would be any info on Seattle Alamos 20,000 facilities, while the rest of us can do some legwork on the street to see if they've got any contacts or things like that that can help.
He does say that on his initial investigations, even the major security forces of the corporations can't find Alamos 20,000.
Yeah, okay.
They're currently the number one most wanted terrorist organization in the world.
Okay. Excellent. There might be some word on the street if they've been active in Seattle for the last couple of months, or active enough to be kidnapping like some people, carrying hands off.
He does point out that whatever you're stealing can't be just what your Johnson has told you. He can't imagine this terrorist organization getting anything that can't be weaponized.
Mm-hmm. Well, from what we know about the information that we've been collecting, we know it absolutely can be weaponized. Just it seems unlikely that Alamos, the type of weaponisation is not what Alamos 20,000 is going for, you would think. I think it appears to be genetic manipulation of humans to enhance their combat effectiveness. Yeah, so the intent will be try and do some legwork on the streets, although Desmond recognises that, hey, his main contacts, if they like to know anything, which is extremely limited, may not be all that forthcoming to him right now, because he hasn't really spoken to anyone for the last month or 6 weeks or something. But hopefully Womp and Flogger have at least maintained some of those social interactions in the last few weeks since they've been back. And okay, also because apparently some whimpering we can hear downstairs, we'll go by the pharmacist and pick up some cells for to bolt to lather on. And some nice flat lemonade. That's the standard thing when you sit, isn't it?
SoCal calls out, goes, no, it's normally that garlic soup.
Garlic soup.
Yeah. His mother swears by it.
Would Ebenezer be able to help since he's got a Ripper dog?
Quite possibly.
Maybe drug him up?
SoCal called out, does Bolt have a preference?
Well, apparently Bolt is downstairs with Cree's room, so I don't think I do any of this.
The speaker comes on in your room, and you've been given a whole bunch of options in rapid succession from SoCal, giving you no pause to think. And then he says, so what do you want?
Well, Bolt has no pause.
The first one.
Okay, so apparently, so which was the first one that Bolt wanted?
Whatever the first one said, I think it was a pharmacy.
Pharmacy, I believe.
Yeah.
Didn't want garlic soup.
No. That doesn't sound good. But Bolt says the first one because that's probably the only one he heard and more understood.
Well, the other one was seeing my Ripper dog friend, and probably get you drugged up as well.
I heard Ripper, dog, and drugs, and probably like, hell no, that's in like the bottom of the pile.
Okay, so while you're feeling a little...
That sounds like the people back in the library where we grew up.
So while you're feeling a little of that, oh crap, you feel your skin start to peel off all over the place. And fur come out underneath.
Okay. Really, is fur coming out?
Wait, I'm getting fur back?
Apparently your fleshy, burnt, smelly body just fell off.
Oh.
And you got piles of skin around you. Apparently when
doesn't even answer and just like runs upstairs to like announce to the world that like he's good. And as you see like fur and someone who probably doesn't look like Bolt.
So a furry Bolt comes into the room, spraying everyone with little bits of skin and flesh.
Popular ice cream.
Yum.
Sticky, dry ice cream.
But Bolt looks happy. Still has no idea what happened.
No, still has no idea. But I have my fur back now. Apparently getting asked questions in multiple succession, I don't know, did something.
Over your shoulder you hear, "You're welcome."
Hidden feet are no longer an issue. Not score. It ain't gone.
I feel great. Let's go. Both feels like you can run up and down the stairs in this building like, I don't know, 50 times.
You got your fur back.
Oh my god, this is great, this is amazing. I don't know why I lost it in the first place, this is great.
And you see that bowl just dragging along, still half pair of pants attached to one leg.
At least my fur now is not like quite so negative.
Well, you never wore pants previously, so no one really cared when you had the fur in the way.
Yeah, exactly. So I probably like shake the pants off.
Yep, and you see a little bit of fleshy foot go with it.
Paul probably doesn't care at this point.
Glad to see you feeling better. That should make things easier if you have to go crawling through the sewers.
So it sounds great. I saw that.
Well, I meant to say, yeah, in bold account looked a bit concerned at the idea of calling the sewers. James was going to say, hey, thanks for doing that.
No. Bolt is extremely happy. He's like, ooh, fresh food.
Okay. While Bolt is distracting everybody and things like that, with how wonderful he's feeling, Desmond is actually going to go off quietly to his room for a bit.
Yep.
And just see if you can contact, like, see if you can talk to Tatiana. Tatiana, still communication.
Yep, you managed to get the heads-up display in your eyes from Tatiana.
Yep. Because obviously in the last month that he could play with it, Desmond certainly recognised that, hey, apparently Tatiana's got a lot of technological capability, and magic capability obviously too. And yeah, he's going to be quite happy to talk to Tatiana and say, have you been hearing and understood the discussions this afternoon?
It says affirmative. It still believes that unit designated Bulk still a threat that should be eliminated as soon as possible.
Well, I'm not necessarily entirely arguing, but there are high priority concerns for the next, at least the next 72 hours.
It does issue a warning, don't get bitten.
That's good advice, I'm sure, and that I was definitely not planning on getting in a situation where Bolt might bite you. The mental image is hang on. What kind of relationship is that guy? I think Bolt got with it.
Apparently a very sexual and close one. Pat my fur, do it.
Puppy!
So it looks like Worm's happy.
Just out of curiosity, Martin, with my fur coming back, has my height grown yet?
It has not. You seem to have lost the height without being around that really strong magic area.
Short stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone seems so much taller than you now.
Still, this is disappointing, but at least I know I go back.
On the plus side, it makes the city bigger for running in.
Desrin poses an interesting point. Once.
But yeah, so Desert, like, he's discussing with Tatiana, who's kind of saying, okay, yeah, but so. I can't think of the appropriate word. Entity designation bolt is not priority concern for at least the next 72 hours. Unless he goes around biting people.
At least Bolter's secondary target.
Happy to change if there's biting involved, but understand. We're trying to track down this ag technology facility at this location. We've got these schematics of potential entry points. Apparently, we have to try and get through. If we do take this pathway, we've got to go. Excuse me. If they don't actually take us into the facility, we'd have to actually try and blast our way in.
We recommend you use your gun.
I was going to say, so the gun should be able to do that job, should it?
It should, though you wouldn't want anyone to try to use it besides you.
No, that's my more immediate concern. There's certainly no chance of anyone else using it. The more immediate concern, though, was how effective or how safe would it be to use the gun on the wall while in the tight confine of a sewer/drain system?
It points out it would be safer than using a cutting torch.
Okay.
I was just planning on drawing a door on where we need to go through and saying flogger.
And what would be the effect on the other side of the wall?
It should slice the wall as if you're cutting through flesh.
Okay. Without necessarily having significant damage or effects for a distance on the other side?
If anything, you control how deep it goes.
Okay, yeah. Well, hopefully Tatiana can help me control it. It's not like, I expect that Des was practiced with it a little bit over the last month, but it hasn't necessarily been the high priority practice item.
Well, it can make a blade, but the problem with it is the more you cut through it, the weaker you get.
Yes.
As it gives and takes at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any information on this facility?
It
or
does.
research that might be conducted in it?
It does not. It finds that as technology is outside its area of connections.
Mm-hmm.
So there are notations about them potentially being related to the formation of creatures in Angel Grove.
Okay. I could certainly see Angel Grove being a wonderful test ground for playing around with natural effects and its genius.
It does list Angel Grove as being a manifestation of horrors from children.
Angel Grove, where they did the Great Ghost Dance, was it? It's got that spike leading to the better planes.
It's got a spike for a different reason.
Yeah. I don't know if any information on Alamos 20,000.
He comes up with it has identified Alamos 20,000 as a priority target for elimination. This actually seems to be a little harsher in its reference to them than it is to Bolt, which is surprises you because you thought it was very harsh in dealing with Bolt.
Hey, hey, as an elf, I'm more than happy that prejudice against Alamos 20,000 is perfectly valid and reasonable.
And you start seeing a scrolling list of bombing targets claimed by Alamos 20,000, and it's a long list. Has over 500 confirmed bombings.
Any indications or hypotheses as to where they might be based if they've got a location in Seattle?
The hypothesis for any branch in Seattle would be it would not be directly connected to the main organization and would most likely be a fringe hate group of students of some kind. Because a fringe group like that wouldn't exist for terribly long before it was discovered and eliminated.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll take a conversation. Actually, to finish off the conversation, I'll mention that so, entity known as Bolt, not priority target for at least 72 hours. However, if possible, monitor any outgoing or communications or signals from the entity known as Swarm.
5 has been sent in the last 2 weeks.
Well, any hang on, you already covered that. Okay.
Identified the source of transmission being what is called in the industry as a Ronnie beam.
Ronnie beam. Are you able to give indications as to what might have been transmitted and or at least date, times?
Seems to be transcripts of conversations.
Actually, also just Dave's having some thought of, hang on, it's even more impressive that you'd be able to track while he's been in Seattle and we've been in Angel Grove. Over the last couple of weeks.
It did break into a few people's comms.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Jason doesn't necessarily want to know about what I think she knows about the group right now. Transcript conversations.
Yep. Anything flagging Alamos or the Hand of 5 has been recorded and transmitted.
Any indication as to where it got transmitted to?
Sent out to Matrix links within Seattle. Noting questions have public-facing pages that are impossible to trace who's viewing them.
Can you forward the information that's collected to the entity known as SoCal?
Can do. The bulletin board entries were deleted before they were viewed by others.
Bulletin board entries?
Yes, the entries that were posted to the Matrix.
Right.
They didn't want secrets about it being revealed.
Oh, okay, so Tatiana's saying that she deleted the bulletin board entries.
Yep.
Yes, well, appreciate the service. Thank you. But it is assumed then that the transmissions that were sent from WOM were received by the data link they were supposed to be received by?
They
Or
were received on the server, so the server recognizes that a message was left, not what the contents were.
Right.
Was unable to delete the logs of the server.
So saying that he did delete the actual messages.
They delete the contents, just not the log.
Yeah. So the metadata was still there, but not they didn't receive the actual transcript there.
But the metadata did have the coordinates of where you are at this time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, not certain Desmond can actually cope with getting much more specific detailed information right now. So he'll come back out to the main room and mention to Sotel that I've had some data sent to you that might help potentially for getting where the drop for this Alamos 20,000 group located.
Oh, he thought that was just a. It seems to be just a public server that people talk smack talk on.
Okay.
Though this information about a Ronnie Bean is quite interesting. He'd heard about such shadow tech, he just never seen anyone with it. Whoever's go ahead.
Go on.
He's saying whoever has access to it obviously has got some powerful backing in the underworld.
Yeah. Now, in Desmond's communications with Tatiana so far, has he been effectively talking out loud to himself, and she's been responding either
with text on your eyes.
with text on the eyes? Okay. Has Desmond found that he has to talk out loud?
Yes.
Or has it been
Or he has to type it somehow.
He has to what?
He has to either type it or talk it.
Yeah. Wow. Desmond will tend to... She's not entirely certain whether we will explain exactly the communication he has with already yet to people, although he has talked somewhat to Socal already. But yeah, so anyway, she's talking out so this Ronnie Beam is something that's worth tracking down or something we can follow.
Well, you come up with a bit of specs coming across your screen saying each one is valued at about 5,000 and is attuned to a specific target, at which point it runs off their biochemistry.
So talking out loud there again, seemingly to Socal and the others, but they're going to be walking towards Womp and saying the fact that Womp's probably got these Ronnie Beans on him right now.
You get the scale of the Ronnie Bean and find out that it's so tiny that it could easily fit inside a hair follicle.
And we know if they're likely to survive, like I say, so if they can power themselves, if they've got some power generation capability within them, do we have any idea how long they might last? and after they give a transmission, if they like to be a one-off transmission,
You come up with the stats on it. It actually runs itself off the biochemistry of the target, and has a unknown length of time it can run for.
and potentially therefore send multiple transmissions.
It could send a continuous stream transmission, though you would then pick up where it is and be able to remove it.
Yeah,
But doing so would have to remove all the skin in that area.
yeah. But the idea being that it certainly implies that yes, it's not like Womp has been reinfected on multiple occasions because they only sent one transmission. They might last a little while, but they only sent one transmission. We're looking at the idea of one Medivine.
And they're normally a cyclic, so they
maintain itself for at least a few weeks.
so they turn themselves on and send a message, and then turn themselves off again.
But yeah, conserve and continue to gather power.
And they seem to be immune to EMP discharge,
Mm-hmm.
as they have no actual circuitry.
Okay.
That's why each little bean is so expensive.
It's certainly some impressive tech, or something.
Well, if you could use them yourself, you would definitely want them. Make tracking a target so much easier.
Yep. Or in this case, well, depending upon who actually put it on him, tracking tracking a potential Shadowrun with a constant side.
We come up with 20 different delivery mechanisms, including flying drone.
We all know how technological Womp is, that you can use or avoid all the obvious techniques. Okay. Is it reasonable to assume that such technology is more likely to come from a corporation such as that represented by Mr. Walker than it would be from Alamos 20,000, particularly if the Alamos 20,000 was a small clinic group?
The technology itself is coming up as black op tech, meaning that a public corporation is not known to have access to it.
They're more likely to have the money to develop it.
They could develop it, but none of them seem to have it listed as something you can purchase.
Which is, not unexpected, because, hey, I especially think that, hey, one corporation have it, they prefer that they were the only ones that had it.
But a bunch of Shadowrunner fringe techs do have them for sale.
Okay, so it could still be the Alamos guys.
Not seen as a priority target for most people, considering how expensive they are, and you could miss a target while trying to use it, or they somehow get hold of it and get rid of it, because 90% of deployments hit clothing, which is then left behind.
Yeah.
If it passes more than 100 feet from the target, it will shut down permanently.
I wonder how many unexpectedly intimate encounters Orks had recently in a few weeks ago. Just to ensure that they've got implanted not on clothes, but something a bit more permanently located.
Does one remember any encounters where he might have been poked and prodded?
Or a slap on the back and that. Well, I was going to that seeing Ragged Ash's lectures and that.
Although, like a slap on the back, unless you were not wearing any clothes at the time.
Well, it could also be on the head and things like that, or it could be on the hand or anything.
Yeah.
They could have put it in his horn.
There's less people that could give you a tap on the head. What was it again? I guess the other option, or the other potential would be this uncle you're talking about. He might want to keep track of individuals.
And they might hide it in ice cream which you ate.
Oh, yeah.
Like an ice cream party.
Yeah, well, I've been to a lot of those.
Okay, well, I thought is that I'm not certain we'll get a lot more information from street contacts than we've got right now. But it probably wouldn't hurt to at least do that legwork. And then in the evening, and we'll depending on whether if there's no meeting that you get set up for legwork type stuff going in the evening, we can regather and try and come up with a plan to get it into this facility, work out what's available, work out where we're trying to get to, how we're going to get it, talk to hotel, get if you've got any specific devices or things like that that we should try and get hold of that we can use to insert at the location, working on the idea that I'm expecting that you'd prefer to stay put if you could.
He says he'd prefer to stay put, but by what his research says, he doesn't think any of you have the technical capacity to break into the systems without him.
No, I'm certainly thinking it could well be like Camelot, but if it's the sort of thing that we can implant a bug or something or a device that would allow you access without getting in there, all better. If you have to come with us, and you're willing to, and we will certainly provide good coverage to maintain your safety.
With that in mind, he has managed to gather a bit of gear. If any of you would like to gear up, he's got a list of stuff he's got available to help you survive longer, he hopes. So
the advantage of having a bit of money now is that we certainly have the capacity.
He says, so if you lose it, you bought it, so he expects it back afterwards if you don't need it.
It's obviously your equipment, absolutely.
So first up, he's got 4 AK-97 assault rifles, each with 10 clips.
Well, Jason certainly obviously goes to grab at least one. Admittedly, also thinking that he probably doesn't actually need them. Because, hey, he'll be going in Veronica suit, Tatiana suit.
But you're not sure how long it will last in there, and you don't want to have to leave it behind. That's your worry with the time it will take to get into the facility and out. You haven't been able to use the suit long enough to cover more than half an hour.
Oh, okay. And that was in a high magic environment.
And it was in a high magic environment. The next thing he has on offer is 4 AK-97 submachine gun carbines. Is there anyone who wanted to pick up one of those for their character?
For probably in the corner eating ice cream at this point in time when there's guns being talked about.
Ball's probably like.
Is that range light?
I believe that's ranged heavy.
It's like, I'm got this submachine guns, get range light.
Okay, the submachine gun will be
range
light heavy.
but the, just want to check what weapons he's got on my list at the moment.
Are they troll size?
It says he can at least have one troll size of each.
Well, if it's ranged light, I'll have a troll size one, please.
Okay. Okay, so next thing he has on offer is he's got 2 AK-98 assault rifles. The upgraded model of the 97. Of course.
Okay. Is he effectively, has he opened up a room in which he's got his armory, or?
Well, he keeps bringing out cases. Not trusting people to look for themselves.
Okay, right.
He has learned that problem of too many hands pushing buttons. Last thing he wants is building to go boom because someone pushed the wrong button.
Yeah.
With that in mind, he brings out 2 missile tubes with high explosive missiles in them.
I'm hoping they won't be needed right now. They can go back.
He says, but he thought it might actually be something Flogger enjoys doing.
Which is why they're staying put.
Flogger does like raise an eyebrow while he's eating ice cream at these missile launches.
So he then brings out some mini grenades. He's got 4 offensive, 4 defensive, and 2 concussion grenades. The ones that can be used in a lot of rifles as the grenade slot.
Yep. The assault rifle come with underbarrel grenade launchers?
They do.
Yeah. Desert will. Okay, he'll go to one of the rifles and say, if it's got the underbarrel grenade launcher, the grenades go with it. He'll take aim for a couple mini grenades of each type.
Okay, so
it takes us more likely to go to the AK-98 rather than the 97.
well, you upgraded to them.
Unless the 97s have particular accessories that make them more worthwhile in that sense. So.
The 98 feels better.
Right.
The 98 definitely feels better.
Yeah. But okay, if the 97 come with certain accessories, then, well, so, Deadwood if with Token's Commission, we have to tinker with them to provide accessories onto the 98s if they're not fitted to the 98s but are the 97s. So.
He's got 4 regular grenades, 2 offensive, 1 defensive, and 1 concussion.
Okay. David will probably suggest that possibly Bolt will put them in a bag and Bolt can carry some of those because it's something that moderately safe for a dog to play with.
Which ones are these?
So you've been given 2 offensive grenades, 1 defensive grenade, and 1 concussion grenade.
Are they round?
They are, but not smoothly round, so that they have bits sticking out of them, such as buttons and things like that.
Oh, boo. I was going to say, like, they look like two toys, but never mind.
He does have smaller round ones.
I probably don't give him those.
Okay. As soon as Jason sees Bolt start to move forward and go to pat them rather than pick them up, actually maybe we'll just wait for those.
I'm more worried we throw them and Bolt then tries to fetch them.
Well, that was part of the thought process of having Bolt be one of the throws that he might be less likely to go and catch go through. But
He then pulls out 8 armor jackets, 2 of them in extra large size.
Is that better than my current Bucky Weave armor?
He says, well, the benefit of this is that if you need to ditch the armor after the run, you're not ditching your favorite armor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Remember that anything you walk in there with, you may have to burn afterwards.
Oh, fair enough.
Hey, that might work. If we burn Walt, that might get rid of the tracker.
Would then have no biology to run, that's correct. SoCal calls out. And he says he also has 8 chem suits, 2 of them in extra large.
Definitely, since we're going, what was it, sewage diving or whatever.
And into a laboratory. You're definitely going to need the chem suits, he says.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, he's got 8 sets of wireless scrambled 2-way micro transceiver systems in headsets. He doesn't want anyone to have to be holding the mic to be able to tell everyone else what's going on.
Yeah. Dagon, and I would expect the rest of the party, is happy to work with whatever comms system. So Cal is happy to provide coverage of, really.
Then he pulls out 2 maglock pass keys. These things will help us get past the tech. He can't be the only person carrying them in case he goes down.
Yep, absolutely. Dagon's happy to make a pass key.
Next thing he pulls out, he says, this is definitely for Flogger. He pulls out a set of digging tools.
Digging tools.
Bolt looks disappointed.
Says, well, Bolt got the balls. Unless Bolt also wants digging tools as well.
Well, they're probably told guys digging tools if Coco got them with Flogger in mind.
True, but it doesn't stop the look of disappointment on Bolt's face. All I got were these defunct balls that I can't even chase.
But Bolt's got permanent digging tools, hasn't he?
Well, yes, kind of.
SoCal says he didn't want to assume that your digging tools were inadequate for the job. But he knows Flogger has trouble digging.
Okay, Bolt looks like slightly happy about it.
We managed to mollify Bolt's disappointment.
Yeah.
Okay, then he brings out 8 bricks of C4. He gives Desrin one of the timers and he carries the other one himself.
Okay. David quietly has a word to SoCal and say, have you got much experience with using this stuff? Because I know I don't.
As you say that, you get this whole list of instructions scroll over your screen.
Never mind. I'm sure we can make it work.
It says, it's not really that hard. Luckily, without the timers, they're useless.
And I get some instructions on the screen that how to use it with that timer.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he hands you a spray can, and he's got a second one for himself. He's saying he managed to get the catalyst sprayers from the Johnson while you were away.
Marvelous.
Apparently, he'd already done the run to get them from the facility while he was waiting for you to do the run.
Yeah. Okay. With that sort of comment, Dave would like to remind us. So, hey, just, you are continuing to monitor Georgie's comlink now, aren't you?
I am. I'd rather not be shot in the middle of the run.
Absolutely, and like I say, it's certainly good that we can maintain the communications via Georgie, because it'll help cover us if something goes wrong.
There's a good chance that the Johnson may not be too happy to find Georgie's not with us, but as long as we get the job done, I think that will cover us.
And you never know, we might be able to find Georgie to actually be there for the meet, or at least a Georgie.
He does have some rumours of a couple in the city at the moment. Not sure if any of the Georgies are your Georgie. Hard to tell. They all have the same genetic code.
Yeah, but okay. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it in a couple of days' time. Work out whether or not we need to try and contact one of the Georgies and say, hey, we'll give you a K to show up at this place and be there as a front man to collect money, to talk to people. Well, to be there when we talk to people, but we'll work that out.
And off to the side, away from everyone else, SoCal does whisper to Desrin. So, do you think this is an actual bioweapons facility? Of course, Bolt hears that from across the room, because SoCal never understands how you can hear things that clearly.
Apparently, I have my hearing and smell back. Yay.
So Dave was certainly working on the idea of it's certainly, if it's a place that developed the things that they then used to Cavallard, seems likely.
Well, from what he looked at the Cavallard research, it was using some of the discarded material from what they were using at this research facility.
Oh, goody.
Obviously, it wasn't up to snuff for what they were trying to do. Always fun, he says.
Indeed. Maybe there'll be more information on the street when we can do the walkout before we actually hit the place, but we'll see if there's any other things to know that we can find out about this place. So, even the whereabouts, like the neighbourhood that it's in, it might be something that gives more info, but yeah.
Well, it's in downtown, he says, where the archaeology is.
Oh, goody.
Which is why he's so suspicious about the actual run, that he's made sure he had chem suits.
So we're not only talking about trying to get next technology facility, but we're trying to get next technology facility in the archaeology.
Yep. One of their secret facilities in the archaeology.
Oh boy.
I think that's the other reason why we were doing it last.
So he recommends leaving anything that can identify you back to this place behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And whatever we take there gets destroyed after the fact.
Yeah. Okay.
Luckily, he did build a spare deck, so he'll take that in with him. There's no way he's going to plug that into any of his systems after the run.
It would sound problematic. But I don't know about the others, but for me, the idea of trying to hit the age technology archaeology itself is enough of a bombshell to finish up at 20 to 11.
That is a good point. And now that you've got some gear.
Yep, and Yep, so next time I'll just basically buff everybody up and then leave my magical items here.
Admittedly, magic stuff may be slightly safer to take and remove, because it might be harder for that to be left with trace stuff on it, at least from Declan's understanding of magic. But, yeah.
Again, it's a risk.
It also comes down to the idea of this.
I do have something.
You would be willing to leave behind.
Well, no, I do have something that I'll double up on an item. I've upgraded. I could still use the other item and basically destroy it afterwards. It's just that I would leave my upgraded items here.
Fair enough. It's entirely up to you.
Or at least put the items you use in a safe space where it can't be accessed for a while.
Yep.
So Dex was thinking that, well, one piece of item that he's probably going to have to take in and can't remove and won't be able to take off afterwards. But hopefully Tatiana can avoid any complications. But yes, we'll deal with that when we come to it. But yeah. I'm sorry guys, but I'm really tired. I'm going to get log off and get out of here.
Me too. I'm going to call it a night as well. So I'm very exhausted. I've managed to put myself up a little bit with an energy drink, but it's not always easy when the body just wants to sleep all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. Thanks very much, Martin. Thanks all.
Yep. Thank you for the game. And
on Friday or in a couple of weeks' time.
Yep.
So have a good night, guys. I
Yep.
will see some of you on Friday and some of you next week.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.